while we're talking about PlayStation, we have a state of play coming along. We don't have to spend too long on this. It'll be an hour long, Austin. I don't know if you know this. That's the longest state of play we've ever gotten.
It's interesting because when we talked about the developer direct, and I
Yeah.
said 52 minutes or whatever it was, felt really short. So it's interesting that this is the longest one that state of play that we've had.
I think the key difference between what this will be and what developer directs are is developer directs is a lot of talking heads. It's a lot of developers actually talking about the games. I think you only get like,
Sure.
while that has like 4 deep dives into games, I think you maybe get one here. Whereas the rest is just going to be
Mhm.
game after game after game after game. Some more exciting than others. Do you have any like thoughts or predictions on what we might see here? What
I have
2026 might
two
hold?
ones that seem super obvious to me.
Hmm.
The first one is marathon. It feels
Mm,
like the marathon has to show up here.
I think
It's
that's a good call.
so close to the release date,
Hmm.
and it's like we said before. Bungie has a sort of maybe kind of was or still is relationship with Sony that I'm still not 100% sure on, but they were at one point owned by Sony if they're not still, and so that one feels super obvious to me.
Hmm.
And then the other one for me is Blood of the Dawnwalker, which
Oh,
I could
okay.
definitely see them having a release date trailer for because we know
Hmm.
it's going to be this year, but we don't know when. So I could see that showing up here as well.
I didn't even consider that. The last time we saw that was that was at a state of play, right? I think last time we got a big showing from that.
Mm,
I want to say it
I feel like
was.
we saw.
Oh,
I
was
feel
that
like
at
we
Game
saw more of
Awards?
it very recently. Yeah, I want to say it was like the Game
That might have
Awards.
been Game Awards. I'm mostly wondering if we've seen it at a state of play before or not, like an Xbox showcase. I think we have. So I think you're on the money with that one. I think we do see that. I think Marathon's a shoe in. I think it's because what that game drops in March or April, something like that, or May.
March. Yeah, I think it's
Um,
March.
and I know we're getting a free weekend of that, just kind of like give people a taste of what that's like. So I think we get that for sure. We get the date for that free weekend. I think that's a shoe in.
March 5th.
Okay. So yeah, I think we get the dates for that weekend here. I think we get more gameplay. I think yeah, we get yeah. I'll go a little for. I think we get a little bit of Saros, get a little bit more on that before that drops in April. I think. I don't know if we'll see Wolverine, but this is an hour long presentation, so it's always
Oh,
possible.
I think we will. That was the other one I was gonna
Yeah,
say. I think we get because Wolverine's in the same boat where we know it's this year, but we don't know when, right?
I guess that's true. I thought we had a window that it was gonna. Okay, maybe that was me assuming because it's Insomniac and they tend to do like October, September releases that it was just gonna drop then. But I guess we don't necessarily have a. I know we don't have a
There
date.
was there was a leak of the I'm not there was a leak that it just today or recently that
Hmm.
it's gonna come out in quarter 3, but
Okay, that makes sense.
maybe that leak falling right now even brings more credence to that of like it was, they're gonna talk about it at the state of play. Who knows?
Yeah, I honestly, yeah, because I see them if it's not till Q3, maybe you get a little bit of a showing here. I think it gets a big showing come Summer Games Fest, and then maybe it gets its own state of play closer to release. So maybe we do see it
The
here.
interesting thing with Wolverine is didn't we see it when was the gameplay reveal or whatever the last trailer was? Was that also at the Game Awards? That was really recent. Not
That would
it
have
was not that long.
been that no, that was a state of play. Um, and it wasn't necessarily gameplay, it was more of a re-reveal. Like this was like what the story kind of looks like. We didn't actually see gameplay.
Well, I
Um,
just remember the one scene where he just vigorously
yeah.
murders a guy by stabbing him 1,000 times.
Because that's like that was the first time we had seen it after the game was announced, and then we got the voice actor for Logan as well in that same presentation. I forget when that was, but that was like towards the end of last year, so not too long
So
ago.
maybe we don't, because that was really recently.
Hmm. I mean, it's possible. I do think we get Ghosts of Yotei, their Legends mode, their games as a service, quote unquote, their raid mode. I think we get that. Maybe even a shadow drop. I don't play. I haven't played Ghosts of Yotei, so I have no horse in that race. But I know a lot of people are looking forward to that. Here's one, Austin. I'll throw this one at you.
Mm.
I've seen a rumor on the streets, so take this with a massive grain of salt. Uh, Devil May Cry 6, I think, gets announced.
Hmm.
that gets announced. We know they have a good relationship with Capcom. You know, most I think just about all the recent Resident Evil games have been announced here. I think we're due for a new Devil May Cry, so it makes sense timing wise. But again, take it with a grain of salt. I don't know. I think that'd be a big get.
for sure.
So I mean, we don't have
It's going to
to.
be
Mhm.
really interesting. It seems like, you know, the fact that they put out that it's going to be over an hour, and we know that's the longest it's been. They've now put themselves in a spot where they better hit,
They
because state of
bad
plays are really hit or miss, because
extremely.
they they do them so often that they're shorter, and they usually have lesser information. Like you're talking about the developer directs, right? They get much more in depth on a lot less games in those ones.
Hmm.
Oh, the other game we're definitely going to see is Pragmata, right? That game has,
Oh, there's a strong chance for that. There's a strong chance. That's out in April. That's also Q1 or Q2, right? That's pretty soon.
yeah. But anyway, so they better hit it on this one, because
Hmm.
they're getting everyone a little bit more hype for this one than the other ones. If they don't actually come with some heat,
Yeah,
there might be a little backlash on that one.
yeah. Yeah. Oh, you know what? You know what? You know what? Final thing I'll throw out as what we might see. I think we do see that 2.5D God of War Metroidvania. I think we see that here. I think that gets announced.
I, this is the first I'm hearing of this. What?
Oh, yeah. Oh, this was rumored a lot last year because it was God of War's 20th anniversary. It was one of their anniversaries. I don't remember exactly which one. I think 20 sounds right. But there was a rumor going around that there's going to be like a 2.5D Metroidvania from Sony Santa Monica. Um, and it just kept getting pushed back because it wasn't where they wanted it to be. And I think we're finally at a point where the game's ready to be shown, and it's probably coming out soon, if I had to guess. Um, so again, that's
That's
pure speculation. I don't know, but
that's crazy, because that so works. Like Kratos in a Metroidvania, just
hmm
as a concept, is just like that's an elevator pitch that I would fund off one sentence.
yeah, no,
But
it's such a not good idea, but yeah,
this is a this is a slight tangent, but along the
okay,
same lines of how God of War has now done a roguelike, and they've done their main series games, and they're doing this Metroidvania. The news came from Obsidian that they're not that
mm,
Avowed and Outer Worlds 2 both underperformed,
yeah, I
and
forgot about that.
they're gonna not do an Outer Worlds 3,
Hmm.
and they're gonna do more games in the Pillars of Eternity / Avowed world.
Hmm.
Both of those, I'm glad they're doing more in the Pillars of Eternity / Avowed world, because I think that world could fit a lot of different games in it. But the
Yeah,
Outer Worlds also feels like that to me. I'm
mm,
kind of sad that they're not going to do anything else in that world, because the whole idea was it was built in the sense that each pocket of planets is isolated enough that you can do different things with different stories, and they connect in a grander sense, but they are also separated.
hmm,
And so I'm a little sad that they're not going to try something different in the Outer Worlds world, of
yeah,
like not a first person action RPG, but something different. Like I feel like it could have, the whole idea of this hyper exaggerated capitalism, you could have really done a lot of things in a lot of different genres.
hmm,
So a
yeah.
shout out to Sony for being willing to do that with God of War, and I'm a little sad that Obsidian won't do the same for Outer Worlds.
Yeah, and I'd even say, supporting Sony Santa Monica for, throwing that idea out there, just
Yeah,
God of War Metroidvania, it's not on my bingo card for what, I would think of, but it's such a not good idea. Um, it's such a,
but it's also the
yeah.
perfect thing of like, I laud Obsidian for a lot of things,
Hmm.
and part of that being like they don't they don't mind doing larger and smaller scale games, right? Like
Right.
they'll do Fallout New Vegas and Avowed and Outer Worlds,
And
and they'll
Pentiment.
also do Pentiment, right?
Hmm.
And they'll also do Grounded, which is an entirely different,
Completely
kind of
different.
game.
Yeah.
And so this, as like a smaller thing, right? This Metroidvania totally fits in the, like, we know the rumors are they're doing Egyptian God of War.
Hmm.
Uh and this fits right in to fill in the time in between. It's a much smaller scope game that's in the same world that totally makes sense, and it fills in the space
Yeah.
while they have most of their studio making Egyptian God of War.
Hmm. Yeah, it's an easy move. It's an easy win. All I can think of is the Prince of Persia, Metroidvania, and I think they're going to be. I don't want to say similar, but pretty similar. I feel like that's why this is going to work. This is going to be a win for sure.